Christmas is just around the corner and I definitely don't have enough money to buy everyone a gift this year. So I've decided to knit everyone a scarf instead. On my knitting machine. So this is my knitting machine right here. And I'll be making these scarves with yarn from my stash because I have a whole lot of yarn in my stash right now. And most of it is very high quality and natural fiber yarn, which I think will make some very pretty scarves. And I've already gone through my yarn stash and picked out which colors I'll be using to make these scarves. And this is the yarn that I picked out. So I have this pretty purple color, which is a Noro yarn, and I'll be making a scarf for my sister with this yarn. Then I have this dark green color. This is a yarn that I got in Ireland, and I'll be making a scarf for my dad with this yarn. And then I have this yarn right here, and this is yarn that my sister and I hand dyed ourselves, and this is a merino yarn, and I'll be making a scarf for my boyfriend with this. And then I have this really pretty yarn, and this yarn is called Oso Cashmere, I believe, and it's by Hedgehog Fibers, and I got this in Ireland, and I'll be making a scarf for my mom with this yarn. And I'm gonna start by making my sister's scarf because it's already in a cake, which means I can use it on my knitting machine, whereas the rest of this yarn still needs to be wound. So it has been a while since I made anything on my knitting machine, so I'm a little rusty. And I actually don't know how to start anything on my machine, so what I'll be doing is I'll be casting on my first scarf on my knitting needles, and then I'll be placing my stitches onto my machine because I don't know how to do it properly on here. I've actually never known how to do it properly. I mean, I learned how to do it once, but I never really retained it. So every time I've made something on here, I've always just cast on with actual needles and then place the stitches onto the machine. And it works fine. Probably not as efficient as it could be if I started it on the machine, but today is not the day to be learning that because I'm eager to just start making these scarves. So I'm gonna do a long tail cast on 4mm needles. I cast on 42 stitches and now I'm gonna place them on my machine. Where's the center? Center is here. Alrighty. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. 42, so I'm gonna go right here. Come on. Dang, I feel like I might have to clean my knitting machine sometime soon. It feels like it needs to be cleaned because I've definitely had it. I think I've had it like a year now, and I feel like that's something that people do. I feel like people clean their knitting machines. All my stitches have been placed on my machine and now I'm gonna do my first row. And my first row is where things usually go wrong. But if I can get through the first row, then I can get through the whole thing. Usually. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Ooh, that was way too stiff. Why did it feel like that? Let's see how the second row goes, because everything looks good. It just, my machine didn't like that for some reason. Ooh, I should hold on to this. Ooh, that was better. That felt better. This yarn is kind of messy. This was inside the cake. Obviously it has come out. It's supposed to like, you know, flow really nicely out of the cake, but since it kind of like just came out like this, I have to make sure it's going through my machine. It's being fed through this part very evenly, or else my tension will be off. So now I gotta hold on to this. Everything's working out so far. Just need to get past this awkward part. Keep on getting something. Oh. Oh, shit. I don't know what I did, but I did something. Oopsies. I think I might have freaked out for no reason. I mean, now I have reason to freak out because my freak out caused a mistake. But that's okay. I almost made it through the knot that came out of the center of the cake. I think got like 2 more rows left until there is no more knot. And then I can just do my rows super fast without having to be aware of the little knots. Nice. See, now I can just go back and forth. So now that my panel's gone a little longer, I'm gonna move up my weights a little bit. I can't remember how necessary this is, but I feel like I remember learning that you're supposed to keep your weights kind of higher up. I actually don't really remember. Like, I feel like the weights being placed down here would have the same effect as them being placed up here, wouldn't it? I don't know. I don't remember. Ooh, I forgot. I have little extra weights. I'm gonna put these on too. Oh no! Oh. What the heck? There's a stitch that looks really weird over here. And I can't tell if that's the yarn or if that's a stitch. Oh, that's definitely a stitch. What do they say? There's a saying where if you have a mistake in like your knitting or something, it's a window for your soul or something. I don't remember. But basically what it means is it's a good thing if there's a little mistake. You know, the more I look at my little mistake from earlier, I'm pretty sure it might actually just be the yarn, because the yarn is a little uneven. I mean, that's just like the look of the yarn. So it kind of looks like there's a mistake, but I think it's just like a really thick stitch. So I haven't mentioned it yet, but I want to do 2x2 ribbing for this scarf. And if it goes well, then I'm probably going to do it for every single one of the scarves, because if I don't do any sort of ribbing, the sides will roll quite a bit, which will make it look like a significantly smaller scarf. This is how long the scarf is so far, but I'm going to start doing the ribbing now so that I don't have to do all of it at the very end, because I'm going to have a very long scarf and it's going to take a very long time to do ribbing for a very long scarf. So I'm just gonna do it gradually throughout. And what I'm gonna do for the ribbing is I'm gonna drop a stitch from all the way up here, all the way down to the bottom. Then I'm gonna pick it back up with my fun little tool right here. And I'm gonna pick up all of my stitches in the opposite direction, which will create a ribbing effect. So I already did one of these ribbing rows off camera just to test it out. And it took me a long time to do. So I'm realizing that these scarves are gonna take a lot longer to make than I expected. I started today thinking that I could finish all 4 scarves in one day, but that's definitely not gonna happen. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to finish 1 scarf in a day, mostly because I'm doing the 2x2 ribbing. But if I don't do any sort of ribbing for these scarves, the sides are gonna roll a lot. Like you can already see, they are rolling quite a bit. And if I do ribbing, they won't roll. It'll lay flat and it'll look cool. So I think it'll be worth it. It's just gonna take a while to do. So I have decided to hand knit mostly everyone a hat instead of the scarves I was originally making, because it is taking me way too long to complete just one scarf on my machine. And that is all because of the ribbing. Ribbing is very tedious to do on a knitting machine, and scarves are very long. So the process is just taking forever, and I just don't have it in me. And I also don't have enough time. I mean, I don't think I have enough time. It is December 1st today, and that would leave me with like basically 3 weeks to make all of the scarves I wanted to make. And I still haven't even finished the first scarf I started making with you guys here on camera. It's not even halfway done yet. So I just don't think I would be able to finish all the scarves in time for Christmas. And I'm honestly not really enjoying the process because it's just mostly ribbing, because the stockinette part of the scarves works up super fast because I'm literally just rowing my machine back and forth. But then the ribbing is kind of fun to do if you're doing a small amount of it, because it's kind of satisfying to do, but it just takes a very long time. So then I'm just sitting at my machine for hours doing ribbing, the same thing over and over again. And after a while, it gets a little boring. So I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm now gonna knit a whole bunch of hats. And I already started my first hat, so this is the first hat that I'm making, and this hat is for my mom, and I think it's gonna be so pretty. It looks pretty small, but I did take her measurements, and I am following the pattern correctly. And this is how much the pattern told me to cast on, so hopefully it ends up fitting her okay. Her head is basically the same size as mine, and when I put this over my head, it does fit. It's just like a little tight, but it is ribbing. It'll be like a nice snug fit. This is what it's looking like so far. And it's probably gonna take me a while to knit the hats as well, but I enjoy this process more. And now that I'm making hats instead of scarves, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to pick out entirely new yarn, because the yarn that I picked out for the scarves is all fingering weight, if not lace weight yarn, because I was like, it doesn't matter because I'm making it on a machine. It's gonna work up super fast. But if I'm hand knitting my projects now, I'm gonna have to choose a bulkier weight yarn if I wanna finish all of these hats, scarves, whatever, all these projects in time for Christmas. So this yarn that I picked out is a DK weight merino wool. Anyway, I'm gonna spend the rest of the day working on this hat, and maybe, just maybe, I can finish it today. I'm back to working on my sister's scarf, and I'm so close to being done, I think. So this is how long it is. I don't think I'm gonna make it super long because it's taking me so long to make. Also, a while back I mentioned the reason why I was doing the ribbing is so that the edges wouldn't curl in, because when they curl in on themselves, the scarf looks so much smaller. Well, turns out when you do a whole bunch of ribbing, that also makes the scarf look significantly smaller. So this is how big the scarf was to begin with. And with the ribbing, it shrinks it down to like this size right here. But I'm okay with it. It's gonna be a skinny scarf. And when it's scrunched up like this, it feels thicker, which feels really nice as a scarf. Like when I just put it around my neck here, it feels so much cozier with it being like kind of thicker. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I just thought that was funny because I wanted to avoid my scarf looking skinnier, and in the end, it ended up being a skinny scarf. I'm gonna finish this little section of ribbing that I started here. So I'm still doing the ribbing gradually throughout, like in kind of spurts, if that makes sense. So I'm doing this amount of rows on my machine, just going back and forth, and then I'm pausing to do the ribbing of like a smaller section, and then once I finish doing the ribbing, I just continue making, this amount of rows on my machine again, and then I do the ribbing again. So yeah, I found that to be so much easier than doing like a big section of ribbing all at once, because when I first started doing the ribbing, I was doing ribbing on like a very large section and I was not enjoying it. It felt like it was just taking forever. But if we look right here, I'm just doing ribbing right now on a section that's, you know, this thick. So just right here. And I'm really enjoying this process now because it's not taking forever and it's kind of fun. And I was not enjoying it before. Also, I made a good amount of progress on my mom's gift, which is the hat. And I'm gonna go grab that downstairs really quickly so I can show you what it's looking like. I decided to film this part downstairs because my mom is actually home right now and she's working upstairs in her office. And I don't want her to hear me talking about her Christmas gift. This is what the hat is looking like. Last time I filmed myself working on this hat, I'm pretty sure I was just starting it and then I just didn't film any part of me working on it up until now. And I'm gonna show you, I guess I'll take my hair out. I'm gonna show you what it's looking like. And I'm using a free pattern to knit this hat. So if you wanna make a hat just like it, I will link the pattern for this hat in the description of this video. Okay. Ooh. So it's definitely almost done. This is all I have left. Oh my God, I might actually have to start decreasing the top part soon. I will say it's a little tight. It's definitely on the tighter side. And I'm doing a size medium, but I didn't do like a gauge swatch or anything beforehand. I didn't really think I needed to for a hat, but I'm not really used to following patterns, so I don't know how it really works. But it's okay. My mom's head is a little bit smaller than mine. I have a pretty small head, but I'm pretty sure my mom's head is smaller. I'm hoping that's the case. Also, this pattern called for a folded brim, but I'm pretty sure my mom prefers no folded brim. Like all the hats she ever wears are kind of like this, where they don't have like a brim that folds. So that is why I decided to do it like this. But I feel like hats that don't have a folded brim look a little better when it's thicker. And this hat is a little thinner. I'm just gonna get a little close up here. Also, how pretty does this stitch pattern look? It's so fun. Nice. I also changed my mind about what I'm gonna make for my boyfriend. I was gonna make him a scarf, but then I was like, I don't think he's gonna wear a scarf. I've never seen him wear a scarf before. And I also don't really feel like making him a hat. So I decided to make him something kind of funny, and I think he'll really like it. And what I've decided to make him is a fish purse. And that's what it's looking like so far. Anyway, I'm gonna actually work on, I'm gonna work on the fish purse right now. And I'm gonna put on the fireplace because it's cold in here. I can't believe I just did that. No way! Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God. I just sat on my needle and I broke it. And these are the needles I'm using to make my mom's hat. Now I'm gonna have to go buy another pair of needles. Oh my God. That's so sad. What the heck? I've never done that before. No way, no way, no way. A few days ago, my dad asked me if I started making him his gift yet. I told him no, and then he asked me to make him a scarf. So now I'm back to making scarves on my machine. And if you're wondering where my sister's scarf went, I finished it for the most part. I still have a few things left to do. And for my dad's scarf, I am making a whole bunch of skinny scarves and then sewing them together. I have a vision. I have a vision for what I want it to look like. And you will see in just a second what I mean. But first I have to finish making 4 skinny scarves. And yesterday I quickly made these 2 skinny scarves right here. Super skinny scarves. They're actually not even that skinny. They're just rolling up a lot. But yeah, this is what I have so far. And I'm currently working on my 3rd skinny scarf. And then I'm gonna make a fourth skinny scarf with this color right here, and then I'm gonna sew them together. Also, the yarn that I'm using to make these scarves is all from Ireland. So the yarn that I was originally planning on using to make my dad's scarf was this one right here, which was also from Ireland. But I decided I actually want to make his scarf more than one color, and I thought that these colors would look really nice together. Oh no, I messed up a little bit, but that's okay. What the heck? What is that? I finished the white skinny scarf, and now I'm working on the light blue skinny scarf. It's freezing, but I have to show you my scarves. Oh! Honestly, I'm not as cold as I thought I would be, and I think it's because of the scarves. They're all mostly made out of wool, so they're keeping me nice and warm right now. My back is cold though. I'm wearing an open knit sweater, but I'm trying to get a thumbnail, and I want to get a nice backdrop. And I'm going to do it before I start sewing these scarves together because they look so cool. Just, you know, hanging off of my neck like this. They look so... So not only did I finish all 4 of my dad's skinny scarves, I also made all of the skinny scarves for my mom's scarf that I'm now making, and one of the skinny scarves for my boyfriend's scarf that I'm now making as well. So I'm back to making everyone a scarf for Christmas. And even though I already started making my mom a hat, I'm gonna make her a scarf as well because she deserves both. She did birth me. Anyway, doesn't this look so fun? If I wanted to make everyone just like a simple skinny scarf, I would have been done by now and my job would have been so easy, but I want to make them a little bit more detailed and complicated, apparently. I just wanted to show you what they look like, you know, when I wear them all at once. It looks so fun. So yeah, this is almost all of the skinny scarves that I need to make. I still need to make 2 more for my boyfriend's scarf, but I needed a break from my knitting machine because I've been using it for 2 hours now without any breaks, and I was getting really thirsty and irritable, and I just need to get away from it for a little bit. But yeah, oh yeah, I'll show you. So obviously these are my dad's skinny scarves that I already showed you. Oh, there's the light blue one. So I'm gonna sew these skinny scarves together. And then I made these 2 skinny scarves for my mom, and I made them to match her hat. So the hat that I'm making her is made with this yarn right here. So her scarf will match her hat, and I'm gonna be sewing these 2 skinny scarves together. And this is my sister's scarf that I finished, but I still haven't decided whether or not I wanna add little like tassels or like little like a fringe on the ends. I did try, this looks kind of crazy, but I did add some little like chains, crochet chains on the end as some sort of like tassels or whatever. But I think it looks kind of weird, and I think I prefer it without anything on the ends. Yeah, I think the raw edge looks kind of nice. So I think I'm gonna take these apart and then just, you know, leave the scarf as it is. And then I have the single skinny scarf for my boyfriend's scarf. And like I said, I still have 2 more skinny scarves left to make for his scarf. But this skinny scarf is made with the yarn that my sister and I hand dyed. And I love the color. It looks so pretty. It's a little scratchier than I thought it would be. So I hope he doesn't mind a slightly scratchy scarf. It's actually not that bad. once I wear it, you know? And once I block it, it might be okay. And now it's time to sew. So it turns out that making a scarf by sewing together several skinny scarves was a bad idea. And not because it looks bad. It actually looks pretty cool. And I will show you. The issue with this construction is that it took me more than 2 hours to sew together these 2 skinny scarves, which is crazy. It took me so much longer than I thought it would. It was very tedious, but the outcome does look pretty cool. So it will look cool in the end. I just don't want to make 2 more of these after I finish this scarf. So I think I'm just gonna make my dad's scarf like this, and then I'll make my mom's scarf and my boyfriend's scarf a little differently. I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll still use the same color palette as I was originally thinking for my boyfriend's scarf. So I was gonna do this color, and this color. These colors are actually a lot more vibrant in real life. The lighting in my room is just not super good right now. So I'm gonna make one thick, skinny scarf on my machine, and I'm gonna do the stripes on my machine. I think that's gonna go by a lot quicker. This is what my boyfriend's scarf is looking like so far. It's looking really good. And I actually decided to switch up the color palette a little bit, but I kept it like a similar vibe, but I'm still doing this blue, but now I'm doing, oh no, wait, I was doing this yellow before as well. Okay, wait, so I only changed one color in my original color palette. So I'm still doing these 2 colors, but instead of doing this color, I am now doing this color. And the reason why I decided to switch it up is because these yarns look a lot better together than these. This color combo looks really nice, but the texture of this yarn doesn't really go well with these textures. So this is what we're going with now. And my boyfriend really likes Pokemon, and his favorite Pokemon character is Charizard. And this is Charizard's color palette. So I think that's gonna be fun. I finished making all of my Christmas gifts, finally. It ended up taking me over 3 weeks to complete all of these gifts right here. So I have I have a total of 4 gifts in this little pile right here. And yeah, it took me over 3 weeks to finish it all. It was definitely a struggle. I remember when I first started this video, I was convinced I'd be able to make 4 scarves on my knitting machine in 1 day. And yeah, I thought this video was gonna take like no time at all to make, and I was very wrong because it ended up taking me way more than a day. I wasn't even able to finish 1 scarf in a day. So I was very, very far off. But I am really, really happy with how these gifts turned out. It was worth the struggle. In the moment, didn't feel that way. But now that everything's done, I very much feel that way. I'm very happy I stuck it out. If I wasn't filming this video, I definitely would have given up very early on in the beginning. I don't think I would have ended up making people gifts because I was really not liking the process. Now that it's all done, it's like, I feel like it was so chill. It was no big deal. But I know in the moment I was really hating my life. I was not having a good time, but it was worth it. I ended up with some fun, unique gifts, and I'm really excited to give everyone their gifts now. Anyway, I'm gonna try them on and show you each one. I'm gonna start with the first scarf that I made. So my sister's scarf, and I rolled it up like a little burrito, croissant. I don't know. What does this remind you of? It's reminding me of something. Fruit roll up. When you roll it up, you know, or unroll it to eat it. Oh my God. Ooh. Okay. This is the first scarf that I made. This is the scarf that first made me want to give up on this whole thing, but it looks very pretty. This is what it looks like, the ribbing. I did wet block it and like laid it flat so that it could be as flat as possible and be scrunched up a little less, but it still scrunches up because there is a lot of ribbing. So ribbing does tend to shrink in on itself. So that's okay. Doesn't it look so pretty? Ooh, if I go to put it on, ooh. This is the scarf. I think my sister's really gonna like this scarf because I feel like she loves this color. She definitely gravitates towards this color a lot. She likes like pastel, like pinks, purples, blues, and all that stuff. Oh my God, wait, this scarf is so cute. And it's so comfortable. There is absolutely zero itch because this is Noro's, oh, I don't know the name, Hikage? No, Hikage? Anyway, the majority of this yarn is silk. So very soft, very comfortable. I think like a couple years back, I knit her a scarf and she wears it all the time. And it's a very like thick and fuzzy, it's like a faux fur scarf. And yeah, she loves it. I know she likes scarves, but the thing that's nice about this scarf is that it's very different from the scarf I already made her. I feel like it's nice to have two different options, you know? Anyway, this is the scarf. Get close up. I'm so proud of this one. It's so pretty. It doesn't even really look like it took forever to make because it looks pretty simple. So I'm gonna have to explain to her that this scarf really put me through it because you can't tell just by looking at it. What did I make next? Oh yeah, next I made my mom a hat. So earlier in this video, I mentioned I was gonna make my mom a hat and a scarf. Haven't made the scarf because I just wanted to be done with everything. I might still make it. I feel like I could finish it in time for Christmas, but definitely not in time to include in this video. Let me put on this hat. Ooh. Cute. I feel like my mom's definitely gonna like this hat. This is definitely her kind of hat. And she really likes this color, so. I wet blocked this hat and it really made a difference because it felt too tight before, and after wet blocking it, it made it looser and I feel like it looks better. Again, if you want to make this hat, I will include the free pattern in the description of this video. It was a fun hat to make. I personally would want it with a brim, but my mom doesn't like brims, so no brim for her. Next is my dad's scarf, and I had a vision for this scarf, and about a quarter way through, I was really doubting that vision because what was it? Oh yeah, it was after I made all 4 skinny scarves and I started sewing 2 of the skinny scarves together, I realized just how long it would take me. It ended up taking me way longer than I expected, which is fine. But because I have a deadline for all of these projects, I was starting to get a little stressed and I was not liking the process in the beginning. But as I continued sewing the other skinny scarves together, I started enjoying the process. It was kind of fun. When I wasn't stressed, it was fun. And the results are very nice. This is my dad's scarf. Oh my God. Okay, wait. I'm just gonna hold up one side at a time. So I did these little tassels, a little fringe on the end here. This is what it looks like on one side, and you kind of turn it and you can see the other colors. So this scarf is basically a tube. You can literally see the inside. So because it's a tube, it looks different based on like which side is showing. Like you could have these 3 colors showing, or these 3 colors showing, or these 3, you know, you get the point. And when you wear it, it looks really fun because like the different colors show through, like it's like a little different on each side. Oh my god. I love this scarf. It's thick. It is a thick scarf. This is a 100% wool. More, what's the word? Wool? No. It's like a rougher wool, thicker wool. It's not as scratchy as I thought it would be. It's actually pretty fine. And my dad's, he's fine. He could handle a little itch, a little scratch. It's so pretty. I want to keep this scarf for myself. It's so nice. And I would wear this all the time. I'm always cold. And I feel like a nice wool scarf would be really nice. Oh, that's so nice. My dad better love this scarf. I know he's gonna like it. He specifically asked me to make him a scarf. I feel like he would like these colors, and he loves wool. He's an all natural guy. Okay, and now for the final gift that I'm gonna show you guys before I end this video. This video, I know it's probably so long at this point. If it's more than 40 minutes, I apologize. Ooh, that's a long video. So this last gift that I'm gonna show you is a scarf for my boyfriend. A while ago, I mentioned I was gonna make him a fish purse. I am still making him a fish purse, but I don't think I'm gonna give it to him for Christmas. His birthday is in February, so I think I'm gonna wait and give it to him in February because it's not done yet and I don't wanna rush myself. I wanna perfect it. It's gotta be really good. So yeah, I'm gonna tell him not to watch this video because he can't know I'm making him a fish purse. So I'm just giving him a scarf this Christmas, but it's a really, really good scarf. So this is the scarf. Oh my God, doesn't it look so fluffy? It is so soft. This is an alpaca silk blend of yarn. It's by Drops and it is so nice. Oh my gosh. Ooh, look at this little fringe. I haven't trimmed my fringe yet, I just realized, but I will trim it a little bit to make sure it's all even. And like I mentioned, this color palette is based off of his favorite Pokemon character, Charizard. So I know he'll love that. And I wasn't originally gonna make him a scarf because I didn't think he would wear a scarf. But the reason I ended up making him one is because we were in Toronto the other day and he saw someone wearing a really thick and long scarf and he said he wanted a scarf like that. And I was like, you don't like scarves? And then he was like, yeah, I do. I want a scarf like that. I was like, okay, I guess I'm making him a scarf now. And I made him a very long and thick scarf, just like he said he wanted. Oh my God, wait, that is massive. This is gonna be a very warm scarf, but let me put this on to show you what it looks like. It's so fun. I love this scarf so much. I also want to keep this scarf for myself. I want to keep all of these things, but they are going to good homes, to people who will appreciate them. Oh my God. Ooh, it's so nice. It's like a pillow. It's like a pillow on my neck. Or a blanket. That makes more sense. It's like a neck pillow and a blanket all in one. Ooh. I gotta really back up so you can see the bottom. Ooh. Wow. Oh my God. Okay, I think he's gonna like it. I think he's gonna really like it. He better really like it because this one was also, it actually wasn't that tedious to make. Yeah, but I did run out of yarn at one point. So then I had to take like a 1 week, no, it was like a couple days of a break. And then I had to pick up more yarn while I was in Toronto. So this used up a lot of yarn, but worth it. So what I did is I made a very long and wide panel on my knitting machine and I made the stripes while on my knitting machine. And then I sewed the 2 sides of the panel together to make it into a tube. So this is a tubular scarf as well, just like my dad's scarf. So you can see inside the scarf. Ooh, doesn't that look cool? Looks like a very trippy tunnel, like in Coraline. You know that scene in Coraline where she's like climbing through that little tunnel door? It's kind of giving that vibe. Anyway, that is all for this video. I finished making all my gifts, finished showing you all my gifts. Sorry this video is probably so long. It's taking me so long to make, and I didn't really want to cut any parts of it out because I wanted to show you guys the whole process of trying to make a whole bunch of gifts in time for Christmas. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of you guys out there who can relate to this process because it's always stressful trying to make people gifts for Christmas because you want them to like their gift, you want it to be thoughtful, but then you're making it yourself. So, and it's stressful trying to make something with a deadline because sometimes you mess up and then that sets you back and then you realize you have a lot less time now to finish everything. So something that starts off as being like a fun little crafty thing, you know, making people gifts for Christmas turns into something kind of stressful, but it is worth it. This is a reminder that it is worth it, but also a reminder that you don't have to make people things for Christmas. Sometimes it's not worth it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know which one of these projects is your favorite. I don't know which one's my favorite. I really like my dad's scarf and I'm really proud of myself for making my dad's scarf because that was difficult and I felt very creative when making the scarf. I thought of it on my own, completely from scratch. I don't know how I got to that idea. I think I was thinking like, what are ways that I can make striped scarves without having to like do stripes like this? And then I was like, ooh, why don't I make a whole bunch of panels and sew them together vertically? Thinking that this would be easier, but it wasn't. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. Let me know which one's your favorite. Bye.